The supermarket was bustling like any other afternoon, carts rolling, voices blending, and the steady beep of scanners filling the air. But everything changed the moment the man in the tailored suit stepped up to the register. Confident, composed, and carrying an air of someone important, he placed his groceries on the counter. The cashier swiped his sleek black card once. Then again. And then the screen flashed a word that froze the entire store. Declined. For a heartbeat, the world seemed to stop. People in line leaned in. Some smirked. A few whispered and nudged each other, enjoying the unexpected spectacle. And the cashier, she threw her head back and laughed, loud and mocking, making sure everyone heard. The man's jaw tightened. His eyes dropped to the floor. A wave of humiliation washed over him, heavy and sharp. Standing beside him was a little girl, no more than 7, wearing a worn purple shirt and 2 neat braids. She clutched his hand with worried eyes, glancing between him and the judging crowd. No one knew him. No one recognized the fortune or influence attached to his name. And no one knew that this moment, this painfully human moment, was about to change everything. His name was Alexander Grant. A billionaire. A man who built an empire from steel, construction, and pure determination. His name was etched on skyscrapers. His face had appeared in magazines and boardrooms across the country. But here, in this small-town grocery store, his power meant nothing. This wasn't a bank error. It wasn't fraud. It was something else entirely, a lesson wrapped in humiliation, a reminder of the humanity he'd long forgotten. His world had always been sharp lines, numbers, and corporate battles. And in chasing success, he had stopped seeing the quiet struggles of everyday people. The cashier laughed again. Shoppers craned their necks for a better look. Some whispered cruel jokes. Others simply stared, fascinated by the fall of someone who looked wealthy. But the little girl beside him didn't laugh. She didn't see a billionaire losing face. She saw a man breaking under the weight of shame. And then she did something no one expected. With small, trembling hands, she reached into her pocket and pulled out 3 crumpled dollar bills and a few coins. It wasn't much, just the kind of change a child collects from chores, allowances, or forgotten corners of a couch. She placed it gently on the counter. Her voice was tiny, but it carried through the silence as she told the cashier to use her money to help. The store fell quiet. The laughter died instantly. Even the cashier froze. People lowered their heads, ashamed of what they had joined in mocking. Alexander Grant, who had signed checks bigger than most families' yearly salaries, felt his chest tighten. Not with anger, but with humility. A warmth spread across his eyes as tears threatened to fall. That little girl, with almost nothing, had given him something priceless: dignity, compassion, and a reminder of what kindness truly meant. As the groceries were packed, Alexander knelt beside her and thanked her, voice cracking despite his efforts. She just smiled, unaware of the magnitude of what she had done. She didn't know who he was. She didn't care. She just wanted to help someone who looked sad. After leaving the store, Alexander didn't return to his limousine. Instead, he walked her home. Her world was simple: a peeling porch, a tired mother folding clothes while watching a pot boil on the stove, a small house filled with love despite its struggles. The mother greeted him warmly, unbothered by his appearance or status. That night, Alexander didn't sleep. He kept seeing the image of the little girl offering him her last coins. For years, he had defined wealth by the size of his accounts. Now, he understood that wealth lived in the heart, in empathy, in courage, in the willingness to help when no one else would. The next morning, he made a decision that would change countless lives. Weeks later, headlines exploded. Alexander Grant, the ruthless billionaire, had created a massive foundation dedicated to helping struggling families. Grocery bills were paid anonymously. Homes were repaired. Scholarships were awarded. And Alexander himself was there every day, visiting homes, talking to families, walking through grocery aisles with compassion he once lacked. At the heart of this transformation was a little girl in a purple shirt, the one who gave him 3 crumpled bills and a lesson he would never forget. Though he ensured she and her family never struggled again, he protected her dignity. He didn't use her as charity, he honored her kindness by giving her opportunities she deserved. Years later, when people spoke of Alexander Grant, they didn't talk about his billions or skyscrapers. They talked about the day his car declined and a child's generosity changed his life forever. True wealth isn't measured in money. It's measured in kindness, compassion, and the courage to lift someone when they're at their lowest. If this story touched your heart, like the video, subscribe to Kindness Corner, and share this message with someone who needs hope today.